Yeah, I'm looking at the Saturday, April the 11th, 2009 edition of the National Post. On the front page, a story in defense of Knight. This story is about Mr. Brian Knight of Clive, Alberta. He found 3 thieves breaking into his farm property. They were about to steal his quad. One of them got on his quad and tried to drive away. Mr. Knight pursued him in a truck, apparently, according to the story, fired a shot that stopped the thief, and called his neighbors. They arrived, apparently. The thief then tried to get behind the wheel of one of the trucks, drove 100 meters, was apprehended again, and the story goes that he's now charged with a number of criminal offenses, including discharging a firearm. His defense is that he has a right to defend his home and his property, and the law does allow for the right to not only a citizen arrest a criminal in the act of committing an offense, that is, a citizen's right of arrest. It also allows for the right to defend property and the right to defend your person, so long as you use no more force than is reasonably necessary. I recall the case of Erwin Simon up in Edmonton. The police prosecuted him 3 times for the simple act of apprehending 2 thieves in the very act of stealing cars from the parking lot of his apartment block. He had the nerve in the middle of the night to go down with a loaded .22 and try to arrest and stop them. He was eventually acquitted, but it cost him so much that in the end he said he would never do it again. There's a moral in all this story. First of all, here we are sending the RCMP to Haiti and Afghanistan to set up their police forces so the morons in Ottawa can look good in the international stage where they love to play and pretend we're the international good guys of the world. They don't have enough RCMP to be in Clive, Alberta to look after stolen property when thieves are running rampant in central Alberta. But Ottawa, being Ottawa, will always guarantee that there's enough Mounties in scarlet tunics going around the world riding horses that they can show the world that everything's good in Canada, and the McDonald's logo or the RCMP musical ride represents all that's good and secure in Canada. Well, let's be realistic. In Canada today, there aren't enough people in the police forces to look after everybody. There is a right of self-defense. There has to be awareness that we are the first line of defense against crime and against thieves. And the stupid gun registry in Ottawa has been the means to take away and to criminalize the very act of defending our property. And they have taken away the means to defend our property, and they have made it impossible for us to look after our homes and families. After all, dialing 911 in central Alberta and a lot of other places is a recipe for waiting until you can make an insurance claim. That's basically all it is a recording of an event. There's no attempt to really apprehend the criminals, and there is no attempt to protect the property, and we're not allowed to do it ourselves. That's the name of the game, and that's what Mr. Brian Knight was up against. And realistically, if we stay in Canada with all the money we pipe down to Ottawa to waste in the frivolous exercises they pretend to show the world is good about Canada, we're not going to have enough money to protect our homes, and we're not going to have the means to do it because Ottawa and its stupid gun registry will make sure we don't have any weapons to defend ourselves. So that's another pretty good reason why it's time for us to free the West and build a country where, yes, you do have the right to lawfully own a firearm. You do have the right to defend your property and your home and your family, and you do have the right to arrest a criminal in the act of committing a crime. Not going out and arresting people you think might have committed crime, but if you catch them in the act of committing a crime, you have a right to arrest them and to use such force as is reasonably necessary to arrest them, no more. And if we don't have these laws in place in Western Canada, this will not be a free country. It will not be a place where you can enjoy property. And that's what we need, and that's why we do need to free the West.